It was raining, the kind of rain that doesn't just fall, it weeps. Cold, heavy, unrelenting. Daniel Carter stood under the flickering awning of his corner grocery store, arms full of diapers, formula, and a single frozen pizza, the luxury he allowed himself once a week. His 5-year-old daughter, Lily, clung to his leg, her tiny hand gripping his worn jeans like he was the only thing anchoring her to the world. He didn't have an umbrella. Didn't have time. Didn't have much of anything anymore, except her. And then he saw her. Curled beneath the newspaper stand across the street, soaked to the bone, shivering violently, a woman maybe in her 50s, face gaunt, eyes hollowed by hunger and grief. People walked past. Cars splashed through puddles without slowing. The city had learned to look away. But Daniel? He couldn't. He hesitated, only for a second. Rent was due. Lily needed new shoes. His car was held together by duct tape and prayer. But something in that woman's eyes, it mirrored his own exhaustion. His own fear. His own silent scream into the void. "Stay here, sweetie," he whispered, handing Lily the bag of diapers. "Daddy'll be right back." He crossed the street, rain pelting his shoulders, and knelt beside her. "Ma'am," he said gently. "You hungry?" She flinched at first, eyes darting up like a wounded animal. Then she nodded, just barely. Without another word, Daniel walked into the nearest diner, spent his last $12 on a hot meal, soup, sandwich, coffee, and brought it back to her. He sat with her while she ate, ignoring the curious stares. Lily watched from across the street, wide-eyed, clutching her stuffed bunny like a talisman. The woman didn't speak much. Just whispered, "Thank you," between bites, tears mixing with the rain on her cheeks. When she finished, Daniel handed her his jacket. He'd be cold walking home, but she'd freeze without it. "God bless you," she murmured. Daniel just nodded. "We all need a little grace sometimes." He turned, took Lily's hand, and walked away, thinking nothing of it. Just another moment in the blur of survival. Just another act of kindness swallowed by the city's indifference. He never expected to see her again. 3 weeks passed. Life didn't get easier. Daniel juggled 2 jobs, stocking shelves overnight at the supermarket and driving Uber during the day, while Lily stayed with Mrs. Ruiz, their elderly neighbor who charged half what daycare cost because that child's smile is payment enough. He slept in 3-hour increments. Ate cold noodles straight from the pot. Patched holes in Lily's socks with mismatched thread. Every night, he kissed her forehead and whispered, "You're my whole world, Lil." Always. He thought about that woman sometimes. Wondered if she found shelter. If she was warm. If she remembered his face. He never imagined lawyers would knock on his door. It was a Tuesday. Lily was coloring at the kitchen table, humming off-key to a cartoon theme song. Daniel was elbow-deep in dishwater when the knock came, 3 sharp raps that echoed through their tiny apartment like a judge's gavel. He dried his hands, heart thudding. Nobody good ever knocked like that. 2 men stood on his doorstep, one in a charcoal suit, crisp as a new dollar bill, the other holding a leather briefcase like it contained state secrets. "Mr. Daniel Carter?" the suited man asked. Daniel nodded, bracing himself. "Yeah. What's this about?" "My name is Robert Langley. I'm an attorney representing the estate of Evelyn Whitmore." The name meant nothing. Then the lawyer added, "The woman you fed under the rain 3 weeks ago." Daniel blinked. "Wait, the homeless lady? That was Evelyn Whitmore?" Robert nodded solemnly. Evelyn Whitmore was the founder and sole owner of Whitmore Pharmaceuticals. Net worth estimated at $87 million. Silence. Lily peeked around Daniel's legs. "Daddy? Who are they?" Daniel couldn't speak. Couldn't breathe. "She disappeared 6 months ago," Robert continued. Vanished after her husband's funeral. Left no will. No instructions. The board assumed she'd fled grief, or worse. They were preparing to liquidate assets. He paused, eyes softening. But Evelyn wasn't running. She was broken. Her husband, Charles, died suddenly. Their only son, Michael, passed 2 years prior in a car accident. She lost everything that mattered. So she walked away, from the mansion, the staff, the money. Lived on the streets. Refused help. Until you. Daniel's knees nearly buckled. You didn't know who she was, Robert said quietly. You didn't care. You saw a human being in pain, and you fed her. You warmed her. You treated her like she still mattered. Lily tugged his sleeve. Daddy, did you save a princess? Daniel choked out a laugh that sounded suspiciously like a sob. Robert opened his briefcase. Pulled out documents. Evelyn passed away peacefully in her sleep last week, at St. Mary's Hospice. She regained lucidity long enough to dictate a final will. In it, she left 60% of her estate, over $52 million, to you, Mr. Carter. With one condition. Daniel's voice was barely a whisper. What condition? That you continue being exactly who you are. A father. A man who sees people, not circumstances. Not labels. Just people. The next few days were a hurricane of disbelief. Reporters camped outside his building. Neighbors stared. Social media exploded. #SingleDadSavesBillionaire trended worldwide. Strangers messaged him asking for money, blessings, miracles. But Daniel didn't touch a dime, not at first. Instead, he sat Lily down at their wobbly kitchen table, surrounded by crayons and half-eaten peanut butter sandwiches. Lil, he said, voice thick. We're gonna get a bigger house. You'll have your own room. Maybe even a swing set. We can go to Disney World. Get you real ballet lessons. Her eyes lit up like fireworks. Really, Daddy? Really? He swallowed hard. But listen. Money doesn't make us better. It just lets us help more people. Okay? Like how we helped that lady. She nodded seriously. We gotta share. Damn right we do, he whispered. They moved, slowly, deliberately. Bought a modest 4-bedroom in a quiet suburb near good schools. Kept their old car until it finally died, then bought a used minivan, practical, not flashy. Hired a part-time tutor for Lily. Paid off Mrs. Ruiz's mortgage anonymously. Donated $10 million to shelters across the city, mandating they serve hot meals, no questions asked. But Daniel didn't stop working. Not because he needed to. Because he refused to forget who he was. He still stocked shelves twice a week. Still drove Uber on weekends. Still made Lily pancakes shaped like dinosaurs every Sunday morning. I don't want her growing up thinking money changes who we are, he told Robert over coffee one afternoon. It just gives us louder voices. Bigger hands. More ways to lift others up. Robert smiled. Evelyn knew that. That's why she chose you. 1 year later, Daniel stood on a stage in front of hundreds, journalists, philanthropists, foster kids, single parents like him. Behind him, a banner read, the Whitmore Carter Foundation, feeding hope, one meal at a time. In his arms? Lily, now 6, wearing a sparkly dress and grinning like she'd won the universe. I used to think kindness was small, Daniel said into the mic, voice trembling. A sandwich. A jacket. A moment of eye contact when everyone else looks away. I didn't know those moments echo. That they ripple. That they can rebuild lives, including your own. He looked out at the crowd, at the single moms crying, the homeless teens sitting tall in donated suits, the volunteers holding hands. Evelyn didn't leave me money because I saved her, he said softly. She left it because, for one rainy night, I reminded her she was still seen. Still worthy. Still human. He kissed Lily's head. And that's the lesson I want my daughter to carry: no one is invisible. No act of love is wasted. And sometimes, when you're drowning in your own storm, the bravest thing you can do is reach out your hand to someone else. The room erupted in applause. Lily waved shyly. Hi, everybody. Backstage, as cameras flashed and well-wishers swarmed, Daniel pulled out his phone. Scrolled to a photo he kept locked on his home screen, him and Lily, soaked and smiling, standing under that grocery store awning the night he fed Evelyn. He touched the screen gently. "Thank you," he whispered, "to Evelyn, to God, to the universe. For trusting me with your light. This story isn't just about luck. Or money. Or fairy tale endings. It's about seeing people. It's about showing up, even when you have nothing to give but a hot meal and 5 minutes of your time." Daniel Carter didn't change because he became rich. He became rich because he never stopped being kind. If this story moved you, if it reminded you that compassion still matters in a world that often feels cold, then do me a favor. Backhand index pointing right like this video. Let the algorithm know stories like this deserve to be seen. Backhand index pointing right. Subscribe to this channel. Because every week, we share real, raw, emotional tales of ordinary people doing extraordinary things, stories that heal, inspire, and remind us we're never truly alone. And hey, next time you see someone struggling, be the person who stops. Who kneels. Who says, "Are you hungry?" You never know whose life you might change. Including your own. Because sometimes, the most powerful revolutions begin with a sandwich in the rain. And a little girl holding your leg, watching you choose love over fear. That's the world we can build. One act. One heart. One moment at a time. Thank you for watching. Now go be someone's miracle today. Blue heart. End screen. Subscribe button plus suggested videos plus turn on notifications so you never miss a story that matters.